3, 2.
Hi, Phil Lindsay.
Sorry.
Hi, Phil Lindsay here with Peep Magazine, and we're here at the NE6 suite ahead of Duel 6, and we're here with Jamie Bates. You've got two fighters on here tomorrow night.
You've got Craig Shadforth, the surgeon. He's got a collection of spleens and broken ribs to his name. That's where he gets the name from. And we've got Łukasz, the Punisher, Parobiec. He's a big name. He knows, everyone knows Łukasz.
Yeah.
Don't have to explain him. He just gets in and
He's like Semtex, isn't he? He just
causes as much destruction as possible.
So you got those two guys on, and you've got. Are you confident going in?
Oh, I'm 100% with the lads. Both lads are trained flat out. Łukasz is a monster. Craig is a monster himself, but in a different term. He's a technical monster. Łukasz is just a pure wrecking ball. I have him on the pads, and I push them as hard as possible. You know, like they couldn't physically do any more when I leave them. So I know when they get in that ring, they can do whatever's asked of them, flat out.
And you know, from your fight background, when you've got the confidence, when you know you've put it in training, you can go into the fight fully confident.
That's the main thing. If you know you've put the work in, then the rest takes care of itself. If you haven't put the work in, you're not going to go in confident because you don't know if you can do all the work that's made of you. Whereas these lads have put the effort in, so I'm 100% confident.
Well, if you look at Craig's last fight over in Malta, I was talking to him off camera earlier, and he was saying obviously because he had the disease, he had the disease that he caught off his lass.
Yeah, he's going to get a slap.
But that did impact on his training.
Aye.
And when he went into the fight, there was an element of holding back because he was conscious about making.
He didn't know if he could do the full distance and such. It's as much a mind game as it is a physical game. Preparation. The mind is a magnificent tool. If you're prepared in the mind, you're going to be prepared when you go in there, no matter what you come up against. So if you're feeling a bit run down or whatever, I've had it myself. You know, injuries, illnesses, fighting, and you don't know if you can quite do it.
Well, you know, I know from the interviews that I've done and the hundreds and probably thousands of interviews I've seen where the fighter basically say, "Oh, it's been a great camp," but it's very rare that you get a camp with no niggles. There's normally, because when you're pushing yourself so hard,
Aye.
and a lot of people don't understand the importance of rest.
I mean, you can be as sensible as possible, but I mean, people have said to me before, if you go into a fight where you've got no injuries or niggles, you haven't trained hard enough, which kind of makes sense. You can be as sensible as you want and do all the correct things, but you're still going to get them. So, but both lads, injury-free, illness-free, up to now, unless Craig's last comes in.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, where does she go on a Friday night?
She's just coming with the flu again.
So, that's your two guys. So, who's Łukasz fighting?
Darren Moffat, the fought here, I think maybe it's about a year ago. It was an explosive fight. You know, both lads came out swinging. Both lads can hit very hard, kick very hard. It's one of them's going to go to sleep. You know, and I mean, I've trained Łukasz so he doesn't go to sleep.
Yeah.
So in my eyes, it's going to be Darren. But both lads are warriors. You know, they can both bang. They both turn up to fight. It's going to be an awesome fight. I'm just glad I'm not in between the two of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you may be getting in as a guest referee tomorrow night, so you never know.
No. I think I'll turn my head for that one.
In Craig's fight?
Craig's fight, he's fighting Ash Griffiths. He's an accomplished lad. Done a lot of MMA, done plenty of K1. He can fight standing up. Obviously, I'm favouring Craig. He's my boy. It's going to be a good fight. I'm expecting quite a technical battle. Ash comes forward. Craig's a good technical fight, but Craig doesn't really take a back step either. So they're going to clash, and then I don't think it's going to go the full 5 rounds.
Yeah. So it's not a matter of moving back. It's a
matter
of giving them space.
It's going to clash, and the style's going to clash, and it's going to make for a really nice fight for everyone to watch.
And out of the other fights that are on the card, which other fights have caught your eye? Because obviously you know your fight game, especially around the region.
Off the top of the head, there's Thomas Daniel, and he's fighting a Portuguese kid called Alvaro.
Yeah, Silva.
Is that his name, right? Aye. Wait, Thomas Daniel walks forward, punches a lot, kicks a lot, just
takes a shot.
Consistent. I spar from him, you know, and he's a nightmare to spar. You can hit him with shots, and I mean, I don't really try and hurt each other like as such, but I keep hitting him. I'm like, why are you still coming forward, you know? Go down or go away. Just get away from us, so he will wear him down as the fight goes on. Doesn't matter if he hits Thomas Daniel with a 10-ton weight in the first round, he'll still walk forward and he'll wear him down. And I think that's where, in the later rounds, Thomas Daniel will take over. So we'll see what happens. It'll be a nice fight. And then there's Fred Cadero and Gary Laws.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big fan of Fred. Like he's mint, you know. He's
when you see him in his
he's
cities,
fantastic.
he looks nothing like a fighter, does he?
He
I
does.
was telling him off camera
He just
before.
looks like a little nerd, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Aye. But I mean, didn't tell Mark call him a nerd, but he's he's fantastic.
Well,
yeah.
Alvaro said the same thing about him anyway.
He's
so
brilliant, you know. He is. He's not many fighters I will like go out my way to talk about, but he is brilliant. And then obviously Gary, he's a good fighter as well. He's from a great camp, Craig Joseph's camp in Northern Kings in Newcastle. So he's well schooled. Craig will have researched Fred and know exactly what he's coming up against. So he will have a game plan. It's going to be a 50-50 fight. You know, I mean, I'm a fan of Fred because of his big spinning kicks and his knockout ratio and stuff like that. But I'm also a fan of Gary. He's a great fighter. I think he's number 1 in the UK at the minute.
Yeah.
As well, so it's like UK number 1, Portuguese number 1.
He's very tall for the weight as well, Gary as well, isn't he?
He's a big lad, but I don't think Fred is going to fight anybody his own height because he's quite small, isn't he? You know, but he's just come back from Japan as well, and I think it was a decision. So maybe he might have some injuries, niggles that might affect him in the fight. You just have to wait and see.
No, it's been the perfect build-up. Apparently, the camp's been perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, no niggles. Everything's gone well.
Oh, well, he'd be spot on then.
So it's basically Duel 6 is looking potentially like the best one yet.
I mean, the North East is gifted to have Duel to put the shows on. Like, I mean, the one of the best shows I've been to was the Duel heavyweight tournament.
Yeah.
Where all the heavyweights just got in and smashed each other up. But it wasn't just that, everybody else got in and smashed each other up, and it gives something for the fans to watch. Not just the fans of the people who come to watch
fighters,
it. Everybody can watch it and associate and go, like, that was mint. Like, I turned up to that show and I wasn't a fan of anybody, like, as such, but I loved it, you know what I mean?
And then they come back for the next show.
They come back for the next one, so it's a blessing for the North East to have. And we've got our lads on it, we've won, we're winning, so I'm happy with that.
So it's a night off for you tomorrow night from a fighting perspective, but obviously your story's not over. What's happening with you at the minute?
Coming up, I've got 2 fight offers. I might be fighting in the UK again in the end of May. I've also got another offer from Russia.
With love?
Hopefully with love. I've just come back from Russia, and that was, like, I didn't get the decision, but we thought we won the fight. We know we won the fight, so we're not really bothered. Past is the past. But looking at the future, I've got 2 fights lined up, and then we'll see what happens after that. Yeah. But I've found I can drop weight quite low, so maybe I might be a force in the 77 kilo division. I'm ranked number 1 at 85, but I haven't fought at 85 in a while. It's usually 80 kilo. I will fight at 85, no problem. But down at 77, so I'm just looking for the big international opportunities. I've done my apprenticeship. I fought the guys over here, and then some. So now it's the time to fight on the big dues where I'm getting paid me worth. You know?
Well, that's the thing. You put the legwork in. You serve your apprenticeship.
I've done it, and I just want to do what's right for me now, you know. And I'm getting the big offers from the big fights. I've had some massive names I fell through last year. I wish the fights had come. I'm not going to brag and name drop, but
who?
I am getting them. It's finally starting to come together, you know.
I think it's good because it's not just for yourself as well, because obviously the other local fighters, when they see, because you don't get rich fighting on these sort of shows.
No.
You get your experience, you build your experience, and obviously you're following.
My gym as well, because the gym's getting heaving now, you know. My inbox is constantly full of, like, can I come train? I'm having to tell people I can't. I wouldn't take it on and not spend the time with you, you know. So when the spaces are there, the spaces are there. But the gym's buzzing. I'm doing good. Everything's good.
But you're like setting as examples so that the guys who are coming through, for their motivation, it's like, well, okay, if I can
they can see a British lad on the scene. There's not many. There's a handful of British lads in each generation of fighters who get on the scene that I get to, and it's took a lot of work to get there. So hopefully the lads now they can get there, and I'll help them get there, you know, through the contacts I've made and what have you. And then good for my lads, I can get them there.
Yeah. Like a production line, isn't it?
Well,
on that bombshell, Jamie.
Thanks a lot for that.
Top man. He's a Peep regular. He's going to come to the Christmas party.
I'm coming tomorrow.
And the story continues. Jimmy Bates. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
I like it, particularly when you went into the